Okay, besties, part two. So, I'm getting that if you do end up choosing this person, one thing that you need to be aware of, again, there are no right or wrong choices in life, okay? It's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. And, you just choose which way you want to go. This person seems to be circling back around. They want to offer you this opportunity to resurrect something, to get something going. They want to give you something small that can later grow into something larger, okay? And you're going to have to choose whether that's something you want to deal with or not. So, I do want you to be aware that because of the different rates of speed that you travel, if you're just showing up here, go back and listen to pile one. This will be important for you to hear. The different rates at which you travel will often have you up in your head, okay? You are coming out as the Empress. You're coming out almost in this like High Priestess energy where you are very largely guided by your intuition. You make very balanced, grounded decisions for yourself, okay? And one of the tools that you might rely on to make these decisions is your intuition. And I do want you to understand that because of almost like this smog energy that is created because there is such a gap at certain times in your connection, it's almost like sometimes you come together and then you're kind of moving and one of you pulls ahead. And so in this space, the space between you, it does create a vacuum, and that's why this person always comes back to you. But there's almost this like exhaust energy or something, this fog, this smog. And because of that area between you, it has the propensity to kind of put you up in your head and maybe distort the energy, okay? So you can't really have a clear view of what is going on. And if you are someone in this Empress energy, if you are someone who's coming out as this Queen of Wands sun figure, smog and fog and uncertainty isn't something that you're gonna like very much, okay? It's something that's gonna put you maybe at odds with yourself and your surroundings, because again, you're someone who likes to see things clearly, and things aren't always going to be so clear with this person because of just the different speeds at which your souls travel. Seven of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. Okay, I'm getting a really weird message from this Hermit on the bottom of the deck. I'm getting that if this is like a feminine masculine energy, if this is like twin flames or something like that, I'm getting that in other lifetimes this person could have been one of your parents. I'm getting father wound energy from this, okay? And one of the wounds that you might be working through with this energy, kind of why it's reappearing, there's almost this energy of like, maybe this was like a father that had to go away like to war or something like that, and the daughter was kind of left behind like waiting for him. Or maybe this was an energy of like a father who very much wanted his daughter to stay at home and take care of him, but she wanted to go off into the world and do something different with her life, okay? There's very much this energy of like someone stays and gets left behind and the other person doesn't want the other person to go. It's almost like this, will they, won't they, like come back to me, stay with me, why can't we stay together type energy. So if this is something that is happening repeatedly in this connection with this person, this might be at the crux of the issue, okay? If you dig down really, really deep in the nucleus and the seed and the root of this, there could be some weird past lifetime that you spent with this person where there was some kind of like wounded father-daughter energy or something like that, or some kind of parental figure wounding. So again, that might be contributing to what we see here. I also have the Devil and the Three of Cups. There's also this energy of like this person knowing that in some way they hold you back. Maybe they hold you back from doing something that you really want to do, okay? Maybe they hold you back from other connections. This could even be just as simple as maybe when you guys are together, you kind of tend to isolate yourself from the rest of your life, okay? And you might want to just spend like all your time with this person. You might feel less apt to kind of go out and celebrate with others, okay? There is this energy of almost like you two wanting to just kind of like isolate and be together. And I think one of the reasons for that is whenever you two are separated in any way, even if it's just like one of you going out and one of you staying home, it kind of resurrects this energy of this anxiety you have around being separated, okay? Anytime one of you starts to like pull ahead from the other, there's this anticipation that there's going to be a huge gap between you, okay? And that could lead you to some very unhealthy coping mechanisms in your relationship. That could lead to control issues. That could lead to just kind of underhanded, undermining ways to keep one of you from moving forward. Or it could also just lend itself to like a weird push-pull dynamic with like an avoidant attachment and an anxious attachment, okay? There could be someone like not wanting the other to get away and the other one feeling very repulsed by that energy. So again, these are some underlying wounds kind of showing you why there is this distance that gets created. Even with all of that, there is an extremely deep love that exists between you. I've got the Lovers, the Knave of Cups, and the King of Cups, okay? So this person, the masculine energy of this connection is very much rooted in emotion. So I want you to understand that no matter the distortions, okay, and I'm feeling a little strange as I'm saying this because I don't want you to get the wrong idea here. If this is toxic, I don't want you to gloss over that and be like, oh, well, they love me. Like, they might, but don't overlook toxic behaviors. You cannot brush aside this devil energy because this person loves you, okay? Like, you need to be in in a healthy relationship. Toxicity is something that should not be tolerated. It should be something that both of you are working towards correcting if it is present in your connection, okay? But I do want to say underneath all of that, there is a very deep love, okay? This person has a very, very full heart for you. How they show that, I don't know. That will be up to you. Only you know how they show that, and whether it's something that is viable, is something that is safe for you and your nervous system. I don't know, Bestie, that'll be up to you. If this is resonating for you, book a personal reading. I'd love to look into this more for you and get a more personalized view of it. But in the meantime, for the broader stroke of the collective, I'm seeing that regardless if you choose to stay in this connection or not, one thing that it is leading you towards is enlightenment. I've got the Hierophant and the Star. So whether or not you choose to be with this person is kind of largely, you know, like, you're going to learn the same lessons. The speed at which you're learning, the speed at which you're traveling, the other souls on the journey that you might encounter, those things might be different, but the end goal is always the same. And that's why Spirit doesn't really care too much about the person that you're with, okay? That might be a reason that they're kind of letting this person come back around, because again, like, you're both here to learn and grow. You're both here to learn lessons, and there is a lot of love that exists between you, and there is a high capacity for powerful output, okay? So depending on what your priorities are, you know, you could have seeded an intention that you really wanted Spirit to show you what you're capable of, you know? There was a reading I had a few weeks ago about something like that, like where you were being shown two counterparts, and one of them was more about like healing wounds, and one of them was more like showing you your full creative potential. That you and this person do have the potential to create together very abundantly, very rapidly. But again, the speed at which that happens might not be something that you can exactly agree on, just for the fact that this person doesn't really move the same way that you do. Let's see if I can get why that is. Why is this person so much slower? This person could have a lot of earth energy in their chart, okay? They could have Pisces placements is something that I'm getting, but I'm almost getting like a debilitated Pisces placements. This could almost be like a water sign in the RX somewhere in their chart where it matters. This could be like a Mars sign in the RX, like something like that. I'm also getting that this person is just a little bit more immature emotionally than you are, okay? You might have a very strong grasp on your emotional body, on why you do things. You might know yourself. You might have mastered your emotions. This person isn't really there yet, so they don't really have like the sure footing. You know, they might have a strong conviction, they might have a sure feeling, but what they do with those feelings is a little bit ungrounded, a little bit immature, because again, they haven't quite mastered that, okay? They haven't learned to stick the landing. Another thing is something just about like the strain of the collective that they're in. It's like you guys aren't in the same strain. It's almost like you're 1 degree of separation apart, okay? So there is like this golf course energy that you guys can be in, you know, that space in the middle, but it's not like you're actually in the same collective on the same timeline, okay? The timelines run adjacent to one another. You know, there might be like overlapping parts, and that's why you guys keep coming back together. But the actual timeline that you guys are on, and again, look at the mushrooms in the background, they're not touching, okay? They're just adjacent. So this would be like, instead of twins, it's like sisters, okay? So just understand that that is like one of the underlying reasons for the reason why there is some kind of like separation or space between you. Spirit, any closing remarks for this collective? Spirit wants you to know that even slow progress is still progress, okay? And that is something that they will give their blessing for. And that every new beginning will come on the back of an ending. So I do want you to understand that if you choose this, there will be certain things that you have to put an end to, certain things that both of you will have to put an end to, certain things you will have to wrap up, old cycles and stuff that you will have to put to rest to make way for this. But I do see a high degree of emotional happiness here if you do choose this, okay? I love you, bestie. Good luck.